I'm delighted to be able to read some of these excerpts from my grandmother's diary. I know she would have been very happy that her words were being shared. I want to thank, first of all, Susan Kadar for translating my grandmother's work, and the Sydney Jewish Museum for making it possible. This diary has been in my family for a very long time, but because myself and my siblings can't read Hungarian, we were unable to appreciate it, so we're very thankful that now we can. The diary, written in blank verse, starts with the innocent child. Once upon a time, a happy little girl lived. A little girl whose eyes were bright, her face smiled. She believed in dreams, hopes for miracles. She loved everything and everyone. In the happy spring of her 17th year, this joyful little girl died forever. Early in the diary, Judith writes, "I won't look into the past because it hurts. The present is foggy, dark. The future is a sad puzzle. God, where will we rest?" And whilst in the labor camp, the diary continues. "I got a slice of bread today. The old garbage man thrust it into my hands. Tears fell from my eyes. I remember fresh white bread my mother baked. Bread that I said I didn't want. But now I know what it meant. Because the thick slice of sour bread tasted really good. Lord, I now know what the daily prayer of millions mean. Give us this day our daily bread. By now, I feel what it means to value every piece of bread." Judith writes about the continual searching for her mother. "My mummy, where are you? I search the blue sky. I ask the clouds, where might my mother be?" Near the end of the diary, Judith writes about how people have changed. "Since I have returned, people are so different. I can see this, and it hurts. Love died in them. Out there in the vast nothingness, where we were alone, the paint, the varnish peeled off the faces of my human brothers and sisters. We no longer resembled people, but I knew the truth. The Almighty was with us. The rest forgot they were people, that their miserable bodies hid a soul. And I asked God not to show their real faces for long, because it hurt my heart. God listened to my prayer. Now I walk in this false world. My Lord, I can't help it. I still search for what is behind the paint people wear." In the epilogue, we read, "Time heals all wounds. Your eyes are bright again from time to time. And, like roses, joyful smiles from old blossom in your face. You look up to the sky with a grateful heart. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you very much. From the heavens, your mother and sister smile down at you with tears in their eyes. And your sister says, 'Haven't I told you, Judith, that you will be happy again?' My grandmother's experience as a young girl shaped her life. She was born Judith Gregory. Her grandfather had come from Galicia, while her other grandparents had been in Hungary for generations. The family was fully assimilated and considered themselves Hungarian. They had Magyarized their name to Javor, and Judith's father had a role with the government in finance. Judith's love of Hungary is evident throughout her poetry. Sadly, my family were betrayed by the Hungarian state, which turned them over to the Nazis. Judith had a happy childhood and was extremely close to her sister, who was a little over a year younger than her. Her happy life came crashing down in 1944. Judith's father was taken as a slave laborer and, after escaping, was later provided false documents by Raoul Wallenberg. Judith, her mother, and her sister were sent to Auschwitz, where her mother was gassed and her sister died of disease. She was separated from her childhood sweetheart, Tibor, and he was drafted into the Hungarian army before he then deserted. I think Susan has done an incredible translation with this poetry, but she assures me that the poetry is even more spectacular in the original Hungarian. So if anyone understands Hungarian, they should really read it. One of the things I remember about my grandmother was her love of language and the written word. She had this book published in Hungary shortly after the war, despite the fact her schooling was interrupted and she never had the chance to attend university. This love of writing meant in Auschwitz she traded scraps of food for scraps of paper to write poetry. That is how many of these poems were written. My family was forced to flee once more, this time from the communists in 1956. When my grandparents came to Australia as refugees, they worked numerous factory jobs and learned English. Although English was her second language, Judith was an incredible Scrabble player with her 2 sons and 5 grandchildren. She passed away when I was 12. Today, when the Jewish people are once more under attack, it is very important that events such as this are held and that the memoirs of people like my grandmother are listened to. Thank you.